Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of the Frankie V podcast. FVP back for another round. Episode 1 went very well. Got a ton of good feedback from people. I really appreciate all the support, by the way. It's something I've always wanted to do and just never got to it. Again, the point of the show is to give you my unscripted, unfiltered thoughts on sports. Episodes will range anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. I'll try to keep them short and sweet and concise. Last week's show was all about the state of the New York Jets, which tended towards Zach Wilson and why the Jets should bench him, where the Jets went wrong with him. And you know what? We're going to stay on the Zach Wilson topic, but we're going to have a little bit of a different take and have some more fun today about it. Zach Wilson last night did something that happens to people in life. He did something that when the bully and the bullies bully you and you had enough, you snap. And you say, I'm not going to let this fly. This is no longer who I am. This is a different day. We're changing the narrative today. And Zach Wilson last night did that. Last night, the entire world of football fans was waiting for Zach Wilson to crash and burn. Everyone tuned in, not only for Taylor Swift, and that's the last time I'm going to bring her name up on the pod. People tuned in to see a train wreck. They couldn't wait for the Chiefs to destroy the Jets, Zach Wilson to get benched. People were expecting disaster to hit and then changes to come. Fans would laugh on one end, and Jet fans would be hopeful on the other end that something different would happen. But what happened last night was Zach Wilson turned into a villain. Zach Wilson turned into the quarterback that was drafted second overall. Zach Wilson said, enough is enough. I had enough of the media. I had enough of Joe Namath's stupid comments. I had enough of negative fans. And I'm going to show you who I really am. And I'm going to not overextend myself and play quarterback the right way. Zach Wilson does what a lot of people do at certain points in their life. And that is, you need your back against the wall to get the best version of yourself. Now, with that being said, and I apologize if I'm a little nasally. I have a runny nose and a little sore throat. I think it's allergies. Hopefully it is, but I don't know. Who knows? But Zach Wilson last night played quarterback the right way. He was not trying to do too much. He was hitting his checkdowns early. He's looking at his tight ends, as you could see. Tyler Conklin got involved, had his best game of the year. He threw a very, very nice touchdown to C.J. Uzomah. I think his best pass of the day. And then when he needed to show off his arm, he did. He had a great touchdown to Lazard. He had another deep bomb to Lazard that he should have threw earlier, but it's okay. A completion's a completion. Let your receivers make plays. That's why you pay them. And Zach Wilson managed the hell out of the game last night. Zach Wilson was going to win that game last night. We would have won on national TV on a primetime game with tens of millions of watchers, millions of new fans too checking out the game for you-know-who. I said I wouldn't bring the name up, and I'm not. We would have won that game. And we didn't win that game. And I'm not going to get into why, although the refs had something to do with it. But, it did something for us fans. And it did something for me just as a person. Life is going to throw you crap. Life is going to bring you down. You're not going to live up to your expectations all the time in life. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay to not be content where you are. That is life. But sometimes in life, when everyone's looking at you and waiting for you to fail, you need to put your back up against the wall and you need to come out and just do what you know how to do. And Zach Wilson knows how to throw a football. And Zach Wilson knows how to play quarterback if he wants to. My grandfather used to always say, too much is worse than not enough. And last night, Zach Wilson did not do too much. He did just enough. He did exactly what he knows and what he feels he needs to do to be a great quarterback, which at the end of the day is going from point A, your arm, to point B, the receiver's hands. And who throws a better ball than Zach Wilson? There's not many quarterbacks. We saw it last night. We saw it during his tryouts. We saw it during his pro day. We know Zach Wilson could throw a football, but last night, he didn't worry about just throwing the football. He worried about beating up the bullies. He worried about telling everyone to their face, go F yourself. Stop being negative. Start living a little bit and having a smile on your face and stop bashing people and kicking people when they're down. That's what Zach Wilson did. Zach Wilson is the hero in his own movie. Zach Wilson changed the dynamic for his entire NFL career with that one game. With that one game that millions upon millions of people were watching and waiting for him to fail. And the best part about it all, or the part that gave me the biggest satisfaction, not only as a fan, but as a person, was at the end of the game, he was so pissed off that he couldn't get another opportunity to win that game. That when he fumbled, which was his fault because he was trying too hard. Again, his brain working faster than his body, which is one of his biggest deficiencies. But at the end of that game, he wanted to win that game. And when he didn't get a chance, he blamed himself. He genuinely felt bad about losing that game. And why that's important is because he knew how well he played. Of course he did. He still was miserable and pissed off at the end, which shows you that the guy has something there. He's got character. He takes himself seriously, and there is something there. There's a point in life also, and I see fans today, oh, you were right, you were wrong. First of all, nobody yet was right or wrong. If you want to know the reality, the people that have been bashing Zach are probably still more right. If we're being unbiased, right? Like, let's just call a spade a spade. But it's okay to say, look what he can do, because there's truth there too. But I want to see what he does next week against Denver. I want to see what he does the following week against Philly. I want to see what he does against the Giants. I want to see if he becomes a quarterback that we all thought he could be out of BYU. And Zach Wilson last night showed us why, not only with how he played, but how he acted during and after the game. And at this point, I just wish the best for the kid. And listen, you could take my clips last week in podcast one and put them out there and say, oh, you said he sucks. And he did. Yeah. And I said it genuinely. It's okay to be wrong in life. And I still don't think I'm wrong. That's the Southern Calabrese in me. I still don't think I'm wrong. I still think I'm right about it. I don't think he sucks, but I don't think he should be our starter or even our backup next year. I really don't. However, if you're wrong in life, you're wrong. Who gives a crap? What are we? Are we Greek gods and goddesses that we can't be wrong? Oh, if we're wrong, oh my God, I'm wrong. Oh. Nobody cares about you. Most people don't even care about themselves. So who gives a crap if you're right or wrong? Sports fans, analysts, we have to stop judging each other based on who's right and who's wrong. You're going to be wrong a lot. And you're probably going to also be right a lot. Welcome to the world. If you have a lot of opinions, you're going to hit all bases, right? It's okay to be wrong. I'll repeat that because I don't think enough people understand that. And it really is starting to bother me. It really is. It is okay to be wrong. Do you know how many people don't understand that? I struggle with that. But it's okay. You're going to be wrong a lot. You'll be right about a bunch of stuff. You'll probably be wrong about double the amount of stuff. That's life. I thought Tim Tebow was going to be a great quarterback. That was a terrible opinion. But I did say Evan Neal was going to suck. But maybe I'll be wrong about that too, and I don't care. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. What matters is when somebody shows you that they can recover from some of the worst situations in life, and they show you promise, and they win in stages. They win the little battles to become a better person. That's the shit that I love to see. And if you don't like to see that because you're backing up your sports opinions and you're trying to be right all the time, you don't got good character. And I'm not trying to go on some philosophical rant, but this isn't a podcast like something you'll see somewhere else, and that's why I'm recording it. I love seeing people defy all the odds in the craziest, most negative media market in the world with some of the most negative fans in the world waiting for it all to crash and burn. And it didn't. Good for you, Zach Wilson. I don't know where this is going to end up for him, but I know one thing. He's a valuable quarterback right now. He's a valuable quarterback with us or without us. And if it's without us, we can get draft capital for him. We could get a 5th or 6th round pick, right? We couldn't have got anything before yesterday. You couldn't even have paid a team to take him on, honestly. Now, he's a valuable asset. It's good for us as Jet fans, isn't it? And you have other players, Chris Jones and others, talking him up. People that have character, and Chris Jones does, there's a reason he's that good and he's a cool guy. You could just look at him. There's a reason people are rooting for that kid. So as much as I'm giving you my football takes and my analysis about him as a quarterback and me not wanting him to be the starter here or before the season, not even wanting him to be the backup, I'm rooting for the kid. You got to root for people. You want people to crash and burn? You want people to be depressed? Life is about success. That's why we do what we do, to succeed spiritually, mentally, financially, physically. It's about success. I don't want anyone to fail. And against all the odds, in one of the toughest, most negative media markets on a night where everybody was expecting the worst, and Zach delivered his best. Good for him. Good for him. And for everyone out there that doubted this kid, listen, you could still doubt him. Go look at that film last night. Go look at it. I'm not saying it tells you everything, but that kid, we, the Jets, should look at that game last night and be kicking themselves in the you-know-where because of not being able to develop that kid. That kid should have been developed. That kid has it all for what you need out of a quarterback. Upstairs, he don't yet, but that's because we didn't develop him. Last night, he played like Brock Purdy. Last night, he went through his reads. Last night, he didn't overextend himself. He didn't try too hard to make big plays. He took what the defense gave him, and he moved the ball down the field. And I always give an example about playing quarterback, and then I'll wrap up. When Tom Brady was down 28-3, do you know what happened in that game in the second half? He was dinking and dunking and moving the ball down the field and taking what the defense gave him. Watching that, I thought to myself, wait, how are they going to win this game? Like, you're not picking up enough yards. That's not how the quarterback position works. You don't realize it. Picking up 3, 4, 5 yards, 2 yards on a 2nd and 8 to make 3rd and 6, third down more manageable, to make it 3rd and 6. That stuff matters playing quarterback. And last night was the first time I really felt like Zach Wilson did that. That Zach Wilson wasn't too preoccupied about making big plays and was just worried about getting the ball moving down the field and making more manageable 2nd and 3rd down situations, which is what he did the entire game. And that shows maturity at the position. So to end this whole rant, and I'll do maybe a separate pod about the refs because I want to get into that, but I'll save that for another time. Zach Wilson's maturing in front of our eyes. He's a young guy. He didn't get properly developed like I spoke about in episode 1, but he's maturing in front of us. And it's nice to see. Whether it's here or somewhere else, chapeau, or whatever the French say, chapeau, I don't know. Good for you, man. Good for you. Use that momentum and kick ass. And let's see if you can win some games for us. And maybe we'll make the playoffs. And Aaron Rodgers is going to come back, right? Let's go. Nah, there's no chance. But all right, y'all. Appreciate you listening. Episode 2 is a wrap. I'll be back next week. And stay safe out there. Bye.